Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's iOS update. This time out, a new music production app from UVI. Let's get started. BeatHawk is a new music production app that was introduced at Winter NAMM just a couple of months ago by UVI. Now, UVI is well known as a sound designer for creating samples. Their libraries sound incredible, and you have access to a lot of those sounds right here inside of BeatHawk, as well as an environment for creating beats and producing full musical productions. The great thing about BeatHawk is how easy it is to use and how flexible it is. You can freely assign things just about anywhere you like. It's easy to create patterns, easy to record tracks, easy to modify those tracks. You can add effects, you can add all sorts of expression, and then you can chain everything together into songs. When you're finished, you can export the complete song as a stereo mixdown, or you can export the individual tracks as audio files, or you can even export everything as MIDI. So you can easily move what you've done in BeatHawk into your DAW on your computer and continue working on your song there. Let's take a look at how this works. BeatHawk is set up with a familiar 16-pad interface. Each of those pads can hold a sound, but can hold more than that as well. In this case, for example, we have a kick drum loaded here. To change the sound that's assigned to that, we can choose another sound here, choose the available options. We can also open a browser. We can choose any type of sound that we like, and it's easy to load that into the pad. Now we can also choose in the browser to load up, say for example, a drum loop. So we can put a drum loop onto that pad. And that loop will be tempo synced with the song that you're creating inside BeatHawk. We can also choose to load a complete instrument into a pad. So if we come up here to our instruments, we can choose a piano sound, for example. We'll load that up. That entire piano is now loaded here. And we can either switch down and play that using the keys inside the app, or we can play it from an external keyboard. We can even choose to load a complete drum kit. So if we go to our browser, we can come up here to our drum elements, choose drum kits, deep house, we'll load that up. Now inside that single pad, we have a complete drum kit. And again, we can play that from an external controller. So let's go back and put a kick drum on that pad. So we'll come back here to our drum elements, bass drum. Let's choose that one. We'll load that up. So now we've got a kick drum back here under this pad. We've also got a variety of instruments. And again, we can play those using the on-screen keys or using our external keyboard. Now once you have the sounds loaded into your pads, you have control here in this part of the screen over a variety of different parameters. You can add reverb. So we can choose to bring that up. We can add delay. We have low pass and high pass filters. You have a pitch control. We also have a pan control. And you also have control over the gain of that particular pad. We can also edit the envelope of the sound. So we have control over attack, decay, sustain, and release. So if we take our snare sound, we can modify its envelope however we like. You can also record your own samples into BeatHawk and apply them to pads. You do that using this screen where you just simply tap on the record button and record your sound. Once you have the sound recorded, you can also edit it using this window. Once you have your sounds arrayed into your kit the way that you like them, it's very easy to record patterns. Simply step over to the pattern side of things. Now we can copy, paste, and clear patterns. That's very easy to do. You can also set your pattern length here, anywhere from 1 bar up to 16 bars. We'll leave it at 1 for now. And we have 16 different patterns that we can record into, and then we can line those up and create songs out of them later. Down here is where we set the tempo. You can tap the tempo in, or you can drag up and down to set the tempo. You can also quantize your tracks anywhere from whole notes down to 64th note triplets. And you have a groove adjustment as well, from 50% up to 75%. So if you want to add more swing, you can do that using that setting. We have undo and redo capability, so if you make a mistake, it's easy to go back to where you were. Recording a track is very easy. Just click the record button, the metronome starts. We can also repeat notes. It's also very easy to record instruments into our tracks. So we'll choose an analog synthesizer sound here. Now we can do this from the front panel by playing the keyboard. Or we can play on an external keyboard. You can adjust modulation. Notice that adjustment is recorded into our pattern as well. Once you have your patterns recorded, it's easy to arrange them into songs. Simply click the song button, and here we see our selection of 16 patterns. Over here we can see what's happening inside those patterns, and up here is where we array those together to create our song. So if we choose our pattern 2 here, we can drag that up. We'll let that go for 2 bars. Each of these is 1 bar long. Then we'll add our pattern 3 and pattern 1. And that will create our song. Now we can play that back. So it's very easy. And now you can make changes to this as well. You can choose to mute a particular pattern. You can unmute that. You can delete a pattern. So we could move 3 back up into here if we like. We can zoom in on our song to see more or less of it. You can do that either using the magnifying glass tool, or you can also use the touch interface to do that. Now once you've finished your song, it's very easy to export the parts or the complete song. Simply hit the export button and you're given a choice. Export will export the complete stereo mix. Export multi will export the individual tracks. And export MIDI exports our MIDI file. When you've finished exporting, the tracks, the stereo mix are available as WAV files, and the MIDI is available as a MIDI file. You can even choose to load those exports into pads within a pattern and use them to create more tracks. So if we go back here to our pattern, we can choose to load up from our user library. Here's our mix. We can choose to load that into that top pad. Now our complete mix is here. As I mentioned, BeatHawk comes with a variety of sounds from UVI, who are well known for their sound libraries and the quality of their samples. But you can also expand what's inside the app. When we go to the browser, you can see there are a variety of in-app purchases available here. We've got EDM Factory, Urban Factory. Here's Atlanta Urban. You can play a demo for that. And so you can make that in-app purchase and expand the sounds that are available to you within BeatHawk. I hope you've enjoyed this look at UVI's BeatHawk. I've really had a good time with this music production app. It's so easy to put together tracks. It's very flexible as far as how you can edit things, as far as how you can arrange your patterns, as far as how you can arrange your kits. What you can do with the exported tracks makes it very easy to move things into your computer. All in all, it's a very powerful environment for creating music. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's iOS update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more apps, more hardware accessories, and more tech tips on making music with your iOS devices. I'm Mitch Gallagher.